Yo, 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 what up? It's Moody here with yet another ranking and review. Today we've got the Marvel Legends series Secret Wars Retro Series, of course. We've got 6 figures revealed from PulseCon, and we got them in hand. We're going to do a review. But first things first, I wanted to show you how they all look in the minty card back. I love retro card backs. There isn't a whole lot to these card backs. It's just got the traditional logo there, some lightning, some thunder, some power. Everything that's happening in Battle World and the Secret Wars, thanks to Beyonder and Titania. We're just getting a quick look. Of course, we got to go handheld because I'm in the middle of a moving my geek room, so I don't have the best setup just yet. So I appreciate your patience. But in the meantime, we will crank out this review and rank them from 6 to 1. So let's get to it, guys. Ooh, yeah. All right, and the first thing I wanted to look at were these lenticular shields that come with each figure. We've got the 2 square metal frames. These are much nicer than the cheap orangey plastic, so the villains get really good metal-looking frames here. As you can see, you flip up and down, you get the Beyonder and almost like a Silver Surfer Energon mode there. And then there is he, looking much more handsome than the figure. We'll get into that, of course. Got Titania looking pert, and then her human form. So the crazy thing is we have all these nice lenticular shields with the different various sculpts, yet the figures don't come with them. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It's a good thing that Iron Man doesn't come with Tony Stark, because during this time in Secret Wars, he was James Rhodes, but we'll get into that as well. There's Iron Man, and then his Civil War buddy there, Steve Rogers, another figure that doesn't come with the face sculpt, but you gave us a shield teasing it. Thanks. Appreciate it. You got Pete. So yeah, he comes with 2 face sculpts, so none of them are Pete. And that'd be a really good. Imagine this face sculpt for Marvel Legends. I know he's got those eye things going on because the lenticular quality of these, but that would be an excellent sculpt for Pete if they did it. But there's a symbiote Spidey, and then of course Logan. Man, that, I know it's artwork, right? But if that was Logan's face sculpt, you're looking at a 200 out of 5 whiskey face. That is amazing art there. And then you got Wolverine with brown outfit, but the figure itself, we'll see. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to kind of show these shields off. You could plop them open and take them out, and then you could peel them as stickers or whatever if you collect stickers. So maybe I will display the figures in these shields just to have something different for the display rather than having a zillion Caps and Wolvies, Spideys, and Iron Men, just to do something a little different. That didn't really like squeeze in there too well, huh? Doesn't really clip in, or oh, there we go. Cool. And then alternatively, they come with this crappy cardboard. I mean, just kind of homage. I mean, as stickers, these are cool. But I wouldn't use these as shields. It's just like 40 years of Secret Wars. Like, I don't know. I think the faces, the lenticular faces, are rad. They're a homage to the classic Mattel. Yes. I mean, we just heard Mattel and Hasbro shaking hands, giving us some mega G.I. Joe. So that's really cool. And so now there's an homage to the Mattel Secret Wars figures of Marvel. So would you want Mattel to have the license back? Leave a comment. I'm just helping the algorithm. I'm just kidding, Marvel Legends fan. But yeah, anyway, let's get right down to the ranking now that we get the shields out of the way. All right, coming in at number 6 is Iron Man, Secret Wars Iron Man. Look, I only bought this guy because I just wanted to complete the wave. It made absolutely no sense for me to buy 5 figures and not 6. But Iron Man did have me at iron skates, roller skates. Iron roller skates? Anyways, they're not iron, they're plastic, they're kind of cheap, they're actually kind of pliable, bendy, whatever. But a cool new addition, a cool new accessory we haven't gotten yet. Could have had a little more effort in there, and actually, now that I look at it, I like these different color reds. Little orangey, it's pretty close, I won't get that picky. It's a little orangey compared to the rest of his outfit, but let's try him on. There we go. Roller skating Saturdays with De La Soul. It's cool. It's a new addition. I really paid $25 for 2 plastic cheap roller skates. It wouldn't be Iron Man without coming with these repulsor rays. We've seen these a million times before. But I will say Iron Man, compared to everyone else in the wave, does come with the most accessories. Unfortunately, just not the face sculpt. In Secret Wars, Iron Man was not Tony Stark. He was James Rhodes. But this isn't a homage to the old Mattel toy, so that is fine. Could have given us a James Rhodes face. Now we're on the topic of sculpts. Let's compare him to the other Iron Man. I also have this one up. This is the Marvel vs. Capcom Iron Man. Of course, it came in the retro wave, but we got these spotted blue shadowing there. Is another look at another head sculpt. Some would say these eyes are not completed because they're white and not blue. Also was a dot in the eye back then in Secret Wars as well. There were dots. So they are pretty much unfinished, incomplete eyes. As far as the buck and the overall sculpt, this is the most similar to the 2022, the Toy Biz homage, 20 years of Marvel Legends. Dig it. I mean, this one is one of my faves. Kind of let's get a close look. Also, beyond the skates, he does come with this blaster with the smoky effects there. So we are getting some really cool accessories. Again, it would have been nice to get a James Rhodes sculpt. That would have made it perfect, or at least superior or great instead of mid. But they did throw in a little bit of extra accessories. But just kind of taking a look at the overall buck. Let's check out the legs. Well, these are pinless, and this is pins. The boots are very similar. We have a ankle rocker, but it doesn't go 360, where this one goes full on 360. Oh, okay. So while the sculpt is similar, the articulation is different. Actually, now that I look at it, it looks like these boots are longer on the Secret Wars. And then, of course, the legs are different because of the pins. We have these clamps on the sides, and then just pulling in that similar circle there. And kind of looking at it looks like it has a similar diaper. Of course, these are pinned, these legs, but yeah, it looks like the diaper on this is the same. Looking at the body, actually, now that I look at it, the torso, man, that's close. That's really close. Yeah, because compared to this has a 6-pack, this has a 4-pack. Although the upper torso looks a lot similar. Actually, I could see more of a rib cage on here. You hardly see it, so forget about it. It has nothing to do with that one. Yep, this is the buck. Yep, same. It looks like we pretty much got from here to here. The torso's the same. Of course, the arms are the same, except they're pinned instead of pinless. Hands, let's see, fisties. This looks like it has a longer hinge than this one, so the glove mold could be different. Face mold wise, this actually looks incredibly similar. These have much smaller eyes than these, but overall this looks very much the same. It looks to be just a repaint of this one. So this is more or less essentially a repaint of the 80 years Iron Man that we got. So yeah, I'd say it's about the same. Even the repulsor gloved hands are exactly the same, or at least they appear that way. Yeah, they seem pretty similar. So yeah, there we go. So what's the consensus on this Secret Wars Iron Man? You know what? In hand, I like it a lot better than I thought, because the 80 years Iron Man was a really solid figure. This is pinless. So that's a definite change there. Adding the roller skates is really cool. The blaster with the smoke effects is real dope, but just missing a roadie face. I mean, that's a complaint probably throughout every War Machine there is. That said, I still can't go any higher than a 3-3.25. I was going to go lower, but the more I played with them in hand, I gave them a little extra just because I thought the extra accessories are cool. But if you've got 20 years Toy Biz Iron Man, if you've got 80 years Iron Man, despite the color changes, do you really need this one? Unfinished eyes are kind of a big problem. It's just it's fine. It's merely good, but I just can't go any higher than that score for number 6 Iron Man. All right, number 5. This selection is probably going to piss a lot of people off, and it has nothing to do with this. And I'll get to that in a second. I'm a little underwhelmed. I think the overall sculpt is good. Titania, first time in the line. Finally, She-Hulk has an enemy. She-Hulk's one of my favorite figures in the line. This one was an excellent figure from the retro Iron Man wave. But what the hell? Look at the size of She-Hulk compared to Titania. I mean, looking through comic books, flipping through Google images, I don't think She-Hulk's supposed to look like Big Show compared to John Cena. It just doesn't work for me. She's so much bigger. Should I get statistics from the Marvel Handbook just to make sure? I probably will. But you can leave those in the comments and help the algorithm instead. But look at the size of that, and then we'll throw in a Marvel Legends Black Widow. So, okay, Titania's much, much bigger than Natalia Romanoff, but seriously, I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that scale work for you? I mean, why is she in Secret Wars? Using Beyonder's power, Doctor Doom created Mary McFerrin, no relation to Bob. So Titania became the superhuman created from Victor Von Doom. And I mean, she's got the menacing face sculpt. But again, why couldn't we get Mary? That would have been nice. Like Mary transforming into Titania. Would it make sense with the suit? Probably not. But kind of looking at this, they should have never gave us these portraits because now I'm just going to compare. I don't know. I think the face on the left looks much nicer than this one. I don't know. That's a Karen if I've ever seen one. They added the raspberry violet pinkish. I think this is great, actually. Well, guys, chill out. But I mean, just the color scheme, I think it's good. I think it works. She's still, sexy and all that stuff. But then, man, I don't know about that face. It's cool. It's not bad. The eyes are real pretty. But then you get in the hair, there's no paint wash or anything. It's got good layers, good texture, but it's just there. They could have added a little more. It seems like we're just so close with Marvel Legends, yet so far away. You got the spikes on the arms. Of course, all these figures are pinless, so shout out to the team for doing that. You don't have an upper thigh swivel there, so that's an interesting. You got it at the knee, above the boot. Above the knee, I should say. So, of course, double pinless. Since this is a new figure, over some of the articulation, you got 360 torso. It's on a diaphragm cut, so it rocks back and forth, kind of like Giant Man. And then she looks down fairly well, and obviously can't look up because of the hair. That's fine. It's got a little bit of not much of a tilt, but a little bit, a lot more than I thought. A little more I thought. Of course, double pinless elbows. Show her range there. No butterfly joints, so that's an interesting choice right there. But the T-pose and almost a Jean-Claude, and she can do total Miss Elizabeth boot to She-Hulk. Miss Elizabeth never did the boot. Still has pretty good range, solid articulation. She feels really good in hand. It's a really good plastic. All these figures are good. There's no bad figures. I just wanted and expected more. And she comes with nothing. And you got these claws. She doesn't come with anything. I'm not counting those shield things as accessories. Those are just kind of bonuses. Look, I think Titania is a cool figure. I'm just a little underwhelmed. One more head sculpt would have definitely ramped the rating and ramped this on the list. That said, I'm still going to go 3.5 out of 5. So she's a 7 out of 10, a good first edition. Some people are going to have this ranked 1 or 2 just because they don't have a Titania in their collection and they've got 9,000 Wolverines, 6,000 Spideys, 5,600,000 Caps. I mean, I get it, right? But still, it's not a character that would come with a lot of accessories, so that I can give up, and that's why you give the extra face sculpt. But of course, the money went into the new molding. Who would use this mold again? Are we going to get another Titania? We'll see. But as of now, Titania, Mary McFerrin lands at number 5 on this list. All right, Bubs, coming in at number 4, it's Wolverine, Secret Wars Wolverine. And another Wolvie, right? So this figure is going to wind up much higher on some lists and much lower on some lists. It could be number 6 for many because we're just Wolverined out, or it could be much higher because we're getting a brown, burnt orange, auburn colored Wolverine, and more on that in a sec. So this is in fact a mostly repaint of the X-Men 97 Wolverine, and it's an excellent Wolverine, so that was a good choice to repaint. Of course, different face sculpts, but here's a look at the two, and you can see the torso and the boots and the legs and the diaper, as I call it. Belt's different because one's molded on. Looks like the gloves are the same. Wolvie does come with these popped off clawed hands, which are really nice, except for the fact that some silvery paint winded up there on the top of the fist. Thankfully, when you pose it, you're either going to see this or you're going to see this. I doubt you're ever going to see this unless he's just got his hands down. With that, I'll just use the claws. So not like some mega deal breaker. It's never a good day in the office when you kind of get screwed by the factory. Of course, that's more of a QC situation or whatever. Yeah, this paint job's a mess. I don't know how it makes it. Is there like a boss or a manager that's like, yeah, that's fine, throw it in there? I mean, come on. I don't know. Anyway, no, it's an assembly line, of course. And then you get the popped on ones. So these actually look a little darker than this paint-wise, but this is pretty much the same buck. Yeah. Then you look at the arms real quick since they're there, just different paint on there, but everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah. Just much darker, sketchy paint. This looks really nice. I like how faded that is on the X-Men 97. They did a good job. But as you can see, torso is the same. Go around to the back. Let's get all those rivets on there doing the butt. Yeah, see, I had some black paint. That could have been me. Looking at the boots. Yeah, 1-to-1 the same. Legs the same. The paint on this actually looks a little darker. A shade darker on the yellow than this one. This one looks a little lighter on that. And then, of course, you got this. I got this mask thing holding it, but same thing. You know what? I really dig this face sculpt. I'm a big fan, and this is probably why Wolvie passed Titania, because I like it. I like the smirk. I think they did a good job with the 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, I think it's crazy that the cowl is definitely more Bruce than Logan, Batman than Wolvie, if you get it. But I think it's cool. I think it's fun. Does he have a reason to smile? He gets to add all kind of baddies to his factions and stuff, you know, in the Secret Wars. So you get some like bluish tint there. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. No problem. Eye paint looks a little good, a little dark, if you will. But yeah, overall, this is a really nice looking Wolverine, at least for me. Looking at the additional sculpt, I'm not as big on this one, but in hand, it's a little better than I thought. It's pretty good. He just looks a little chunky around the chin, around the jaw, I guess I'd say. Does have the mutton chops. Everything looks painted good. Get some nice pattern. Feels almost like a grayish brown to his hair. Man, looking at that, that's really good job on the eyes. Look at it. It's not too bad, right? Not the best paint job actually in the world, but it's not too bad. Just a little chunky in the face. If we could have got that, that's a beautiful looking man on the right. If we get that face sculpt ever, that'll be the essential. Man, some bluish tint in the hair or whatever. You know, none of that crappy cell shaded techniques that they use, but this would be the Wolvie face sculpt I'd want. But to sum it up, I really dig the Wolverine. I don't think it's the Wolverine we wanted. I know we would definitely need a much darker brown. This brown definitely is faithful to the original Secret Wars toy, though, so it's always weird when you look at reference material, especially the one that they gave us has a browner suit than that. But overall, it's cool. It fills a void. I dig this face. I don't really dig the others. I'll go 3.75. Wolvie Whiskeys. Be drinking one to you, bub. Not a bad figure at number 4. Secret Wars Wolverine. All right, it's top 3 time. And actually, I had this guy in number 2. It's a symbiote SpiderMan. It's good old Pete. He's the most exciting figure in this wave for me. Yes, another Spider-Man, because I actually don't have a symbiote / black suited Spider-Man in my collection. I have one on card. There's some that come in multi-packs I just didn't bother to get. Look, so I just selfishly, I'm mostly excited for this, but it's not as good as the other two, I don't think. We've got the amazing fantasy Spider-Man body, so we don't have to go too deep into that because we got him right here. Here's Pete. Same exact buck, except of course, no holes there in the arms. Replace those because he doesn't have the wings, but everything else seems to be the same, at least on first appearance. Let's check out the arms and everything. Yeah, it looks similar to me. I mean, it could be a little different. There's a lot more detail in the tricep there, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Arms could be a little different, of course. Same butterfly joints, same legs. Although this dark paint really shows more muscle, but yeah, same feet, everything like that. So it is a repaint. Amazing Fantasy Marvel Legends. And man, we're getting some paint issues all over this place. So good thing I called an audible right at the line of scrimmage, because I would have had to backtrack on instant replay, because man, that's some really bad paint. But still real pleased to have them. There's the regular sculpt. And then there's an all-new face sculpt for Spider-Man. So whenever you can get an all-new masked Spider-Man face sculpt, that's really cool, because it's got these squinty eyes. And before you say that Spider Shot, we got him right here. The eyes on Spider Shot are a little more curvy and up. This is more of a slant, like an oval, if that makes any sense. It's not much of a difference, but it is new. And as per usual, Symbiote Spidey comes with 3 sets of hands. He's got the fisties. He's got the web crawling hands. I like the white paint there. At least they didn't screw that up. Then you got the thwip hands. And just to give you a look at that. There we go. Very nice. Overall, it's a good, solid, pinless buck. And despite no web effects, sorry, Bobby, but I'm just thrilled to finally get a Symbiote Spidey without having to buy a multi-pack. So we're just going to go strong 4 out of 5. It's not perfect. Could have came with a Peter Parker sculpt. Could have came with a lot more. They all could have. But in this consensus, in this ranking, I'm thrilled to get him at number 3, Symbiote Spidey. All right, number 2, it's Smiling Steve, Stevie Rogers, Captain America. This is maybe one of the figures I was least excited about because of the Toy Biz Homage 20th Anniversary fig, which is just so freaking amazing. But there is some improvements. There are enough changes to justify this cap and have him ranked as high as I could. First things first, we're taking a look at the stripe placement. A lot of people like the stripe down the middle, but this is a homage to the classic Secret Wars toys that were made by Mattel. And first time we're getting a pinless cap. Pinless Captain America comic book cap. We're all pinless. Where 20th Toy Biz has the pins. That could be a big deal for you. It is on more human characters than robots for me. But, you know, it's a nice change that they did that. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same damn sculpt, just pinless. From an eye test, the belt looks a little different. Looks like the buckle's a little smaller. Kind of hard to see. Kind of hard to see there. Everything else pretty much looks the same. Of course, this is really different on there. But everything else, we're looking at a solid repaint just with the pinless arms and legs. So that is a nice change. And then, do you have a preference in the color? Obviously, we got a royal blue here, which is, to me, the more modern cap. But you get this cool, like, powder blue, retro blue, sky blue, Tar Heel blue. Looks really good on camera, actually. It doesn't look too bad at all. And in hand, it's much nicer than I imagined. So, that's cool. Looking at the reds, you got more of an orangey red, and that seems to be a theme, more faded. Things are more purposely done, faded, old school. See the orange compared to a darker red. On camera, you can't really tell. On hand, it's there, but it's not super there. You get kind of an additional wash on all this stuff. Really make it nice. This is just pretty much flat. They didn't add any kind of stuff. That really looks so similar on camera, but in hand, I promise you, there is a touch darker red. Looks like the stripe color is the same though. And again, it's really hard to tell on camera. Let's see if we can do a close-up. There we go. I think that helps. You could definitely tell now how darker this red is compared to this orange. But I think most people are going to prefer the deeper, darker blues and the deeper, darker reds. But that said, this does match the aesthetic of what Secret Wars was back in 1984. So I don't have any problems with that. We'll keep Cap here because we got new sculpts. We actually have 2 sculpts that come with this, so that's always pleasant. Of course, we had the more stern, stoic look, and we got a smiling Cap, which is actually pretty iconic if you do remember some of the ads and advertisements. I don't know how smiling he's going to be during the Beyonders Secret Wars, but it's a nice addition nonetheless. And then we got ourselves an angry Cap, which is really cool and does fit the storyline. So that's a nice change too, and that's nice. And look, overall, Hasbro has made a great decision giving us these new looks of these iconic characters rather than just mere repainted faces or redos. So I will give them credit on that. And then finally, if I'm going to treat everyone one way, then I got to treat Cap the same. We've got Steve Rogers face sculpt on this lenticular shield, and it doesn't come with a Steve Rogers face. Yeah, you could pretty much say, oh, just use the one you got from the 20th, but not every single person is buying the 20th. Which reminds me, if you didn't buy the Toy Biz 20th figure, then this is top of the list. This is the best figure in the wave, no doubt. It's not even close, but because we've got one that's so damn similar, minus a sculpt and some pins or two, and of course you got this backpack that you could, does it even come off? Yeah, it comes off anyway. So there we go. You could just slide that off. Because I have this one isn't as exciting, but if you're only looking to get one Marvel Legends Classic Captain America, you don't want to pay aftermarket for the Toy Biz 20th version, this is a good solid version, especially if pinless means a lot to you. So that said, the whiskey score is much higher if this is brand new. As for accessories, I don't know if it's either him or Iron Man that comes most packed out, but he does come with the additional sculpt and a set of hands. You got the salute hands and the Hulk Hogan, we're looking at you, brother hands. So actually an interesting tidbit on these C-grip hands is that the thumb and the top finger are actually connected. So while I was going to showcase the next accessory, there we go. Look at that. He can actually hold on to a broken shield. Why would he do that? Because his shield is broken. And you can actually feel the texture there, feel the cracks, which is really cool. Comes on a C-grip, and I should mention all the shields come with C-grips, and they're adjusted based on who the figure is. So if the figure has small wrists like Titania, it's going to be smaller like Spidey, and then if they're thicker like Wolverine and Cap, they got thicker C-grips there. So just a little bit there, but overall there's a broken shield, which is new and cool. Everyone's like, oh, give us a normal shield, but I would have rather had a Steve face sculpt. But overall, I mean, damn, this is actually a great figure. I'm going to go 4-4.25 just because of how similar the 20th is. It's almost like just getting a powder blue version. There are differences. I think they made enough changes. A Steve face sculpt, a brand new one, would have just put this figure over the top. Then it would have became a deluxe probably at this point, right? So question for you guys, it comes down to it. Look, Marvel has to pay the Disney Marvel tax, right? Marvel Legends, that is. Would you be willing to pay $2 more just to get like an extra head sculpt? I mean, Titania came with nothing. We didn't get any webs for Symbiote Spidey. There's so many things that we could have got. Iron Man could have got a roadie face. Would you just be willing to pay the $27, $28.99, $29.99? I know we're getting into crazy territory here, but would you just like to be disappointed? Look, they have to pay the tax. I don't know what number that is, but they're not on the same playing field as G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe can come fully packed out for $24.99. Marvel Legends cannot, just the way it is as far as corporate structure and all that stuff. So again, this figure is so close to perfection. I mean, maybe the Marvel Legends fans are just going to eat it up and buy it up anyway. All right, finally, number one, it's the Beyonder. And from the looks of it, if you don't know who the Beyonder is, you're going to say this is the absolute most ludicrous action figure ranking in the history of YouTube, and that may be true. But look, first time in the line, Beyonder. He's a god tier level character. I mean, he's got extreme powers such as reality warping. I mean, he can manipulate reality on a virtually infinite scale. He's got psionic abilities, teleportation, matter and energy manipulation, of course, superhuman strength and durability. He looks like an angry guy that's going to spike your drink in a dirty nightclub in Hollywood. But that said, more importantly to the Secret Wars, Beyonder created Battle World. And we do get a Battle World accessory. This basically created Beyonder's own battle royal of babyface heroes and criminal heels. This thing helped teleport the curious soups and villains to an area of space-time near a galaxy far from the vicinity of Earth, later known as Battle World. And you just got all the different Battle Worlds built on this planet. This is where the Secret Wars take place. And I say wars because this is Secret Wars 2 Beyonder, which is okay. This wave never said it was Secret Wars 1. It just said it was Secret Wars, which could be Secret Wars 1, 2, or 3. Now, I don't know what they're doing to Dwight over there at Hasbro. Are they driving him mad? But between the Beyonder's face sculpt and Giant Man's, we're getting these really crazy looking faces, man. But overall, I think actually in hand, this is an amazing face sculpt. It looks so sinister and crazy, but then when you compare it to the reference material, it's spot on. At first, I was like, oh man, another stupid, smiley, creepy, crazy face. But look at this thing. This thing is pretty damn awesome. And for shits and giggles, I got Count Nefaria next to Beyonder. These were two of the most requested villains, and we're getting them both. And we got them both, so cheers to that. So we're actually getting a lot of these deep cut villains, and Lord knows we need villains. So this selection at number 1 has more to do with just fulfilling a need than actual quality. I think it's a fairly good figure. I mean, it doesn't come with extra power effects. There could have been an additional sculpt. Again, to be fair, we could have gotten this look, just something else, right? Just to really make it perfect. All these figures lack in areas, accessories, and what have you. But I think overall, they're just giving us a figure we need. We need the Beyonder. A very important villain to the overall scope of the Marvel Universe, and we got it. I mean, it does have a really great face sculpt, really cool effect. Otherwise, it's just standard, you know, suited body-like type figure, and it's dope. I'm going to give them 4.25 just for giving us a figure we really need. I think Beyonder brought an excitement to the wave that otherwise wouldn't if we just constantly got the same iconic characters. But that said, number 1, Beyonder, he's great, could have been greater, but thrilled to have him. All right, guys, that was the ranking and review of the Marvel Legends series Secret Wars Retro Series Volume 1. Maybe we'll get more. Which characters do you want to see in the line? Did you order this line? Are you still waiting on your pre-order? Are you excited about it? Are you more excited about it now that you watched this ranking review? Are you less excited about it? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. What are you going to do with these damn shields? That's why I want to know. You doing a sticker book? You going to frame these on your wall? Are you going to actually have them pose? This actually looks pretty cool. It looks really dorky and nerdy, and that's what comic book action figures are all about, guys. But yeah, let me know. Like the video, leave a comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We also go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. This Wednesday, we're talking about the Dragonfly and many other things, so check us out. In the meantime, guys, for a toy kind of mood, Trab Moody, catch you in Toy Owl. Peace.